Good afternoon. My name is Willie Jackson. What I'm going to be talking about is what I feel that today's society needs, especially in our younger generation. What I feel our society needs is safety driving. You ever ask yourself when you're in traffic, you're driving around, and you're got this one destination that you're trying to get to, and then you're right there in the process of getting off an exit, and the accident happens. Did you know car accidents is the number one cause of teenage deaths? This has become fatal over time in our generation. I feel that programs and systems will help our youth to become better drivers on the road, and this will tend to take out a lot of stress on older drivers. The things I'm going to talk about today is the things that actually cause teenagers to get in car accidents, especially fatal car accidents, causing them to lose their life. My number one cause is distracted driving. Teens tends to be on their cell phone a lot, talking to their friends, not not paying attention to anything to do. I feel that when you're on your phone, looking on your phone or either talking, you tend to not focus on the road. Say for instance, there's a hazard on the side of the road, you got a car pulled off to the shoulder, maybe a sudden stop. If you're on your phone, teens will seem to realize or react faster than normal when they're on the phone and distracted, when really they're supposed to have both hands on the steering wheel and driving down the road. My second cause is reckless driving. You may ask yourself, what is reckless driving? To me, reckless driving is when you're cutting people off in traffic, meaning that you're driving and you're kind of like you just swerve over in someone else's lane when you're running behind somebody. That tends to happen when teens are typically trying to showboat and show off for their peers and their friends. Another form of reckless driving is trying to race another car. You may see a nicer car that you have, that person have better than you, and you tend to like to race that other car and try to go fast because you think your car is faster than theirs, or you think your car is better than theirs. Another form of distracted driving, another form of reckless driving to me a lot of form of reckless driving tends to happen at car shows. A lot of kids our generation like to go out to car shows and they like to showboat their car, which is burn their tires out, do donuts around in the public area, which is reckless driving. And also they like to just do crazy stuff such as not even on cars and on motorcycles. They like to pop wheelies in the parking lot, show off, burn tires, and cross people off, which can cause a death. And at the same time, you're doing destructive property. You're destroying the property. Another cause for teen deaths while driving is drugs. I know a lot of my peers like to drink, so they tend to like to drink and drive at the same time, and that is basically a DUI, which is driving under the influence. DUI tends to like slow you down. It's the same way as being on the phone, like a distraction, but it's a mindset thing, and it helps you process things slower. As I stated earlier, it may be a car that brakes all of a sudden because you're intoxicated and drunk. You may not be able to stop on time or stop when you're supposed to stop. Another form of drugs is smoking. People like to tend, where I'm from Atlanta, people like to tend to smoke and drive, thinking that it's okay to be high while driving, which is technically it's not okay and it's not legal in certain states, and you shouldn't be doing it. Smoking basically is caused by a lot of stress. People tend to be stressed out, and most of the time they see their peers do it, so they think it's okay to do it, but which is really not. Like I said, smoking helps slows your process down in your brain cell to where you can do all of a sudden change if something was to happen while you're driving on the road. Another cause, another cause is weather. One from it's pretty like calm for the weather, but it's really bipolar. It gets a lot of rain, but up here it's a lot of snow, which tends. I know a couple people, when it snows up here, they tend to, think it's okay just to go fast, but really the road condition is not okay. Team drivers really don't understand that weather plays a big role, and when you're driving on the road, especially the ice roads, I feel that when you're driving, you should tend to drive slower to not cause any accidents. Another form of weather is fog. I feel personally, if you're a teenager, under a certain age, you shouldn't go out and drive when it's foggy because number one, you have lack of experience, and number two, you really don't know how to access a sudden change if you was not to see a car coming over the hill versus you going by another hill. I would just say stay in the house. Another thing I'm gonna talk about when it comes to safety driving in society is the effects. The effects tend to stress other drivers out when teens, especially in our generation, don't drive appropriate way, which is the causes that I stated earlier. It makes the state overall looks bad because the populated area people may come and visit. They like, hey, I'm here for vacation, but it's always a car accident and I can't go nowhere. That's mostly because of teen drivers. So that builds an effect on that. It increases insurance prices. Insurance prices increase very, very high. And when you get to a certain age, I believe it's 50 in the state, your insurance price is supposed to drop roughly than when you're at the age of 20 up into 25, on up until you're 50. Your insurance prices is very high. I think the quote over average insurance price for teenagers is around $600 versus an average adult versus a regular human being. When you get older, you tend to have more responsibility and they expect you not to drive as much as teens on the road. Another effect is makes it harder for the younger generation to go and get their driving privileges when teens that's in a different age then done mess things up for the younger generation that's coming up to get their driving privileges. Another effect is death rates. That goes down. That goes up because teens tend to not think it's driving as serious when that is the most important thing that you can lose your life firsthand on. Also, it makes the company look bad on the vehicle that you're driving the car for, because if you rent the vehicle from a company that you buy, they may think, oh, that company products a bad car, and that's not cool. So let's not buy a car for that. So it decreased the value of the company. A quote I got from Robert Leonard in my article, he states, the crash works per mile driven for an accident for females is 3 miles and for males is 6 miles. Meaning that it is a more chance for a female driver to get in a car accident versus a male driver. To sum us up in conclusion, I feel safety driving needs to be taken very serious in society today. I feel more programs, systems will help lower wrecks and traffic. Also, it would cut down on the number of deaths because of this. I feel insurance prices would be lowered depending on the state results of wrecks in the community. And teenagers that are coming up won't have a hard time receiving their driving privileges and have to go through so much because of the older generation that's getting ready to leave has screwed it up for the younger generation. Let's help pick up what society needs as a whole, and thank you.